We've all seen this image from Angry Birds, obviously. Its creator made a whole bunch of money using Illustrator to create it. So, very popular, obviously. You guys all have it downloaded on your smartphones, I'm sure. To do this, we're not going to create this image, but what I want you to do for this next drawing assignment is to create a simple kind of character or cartoon image to be drawn out in Illustrator. Okay. Today we're going to learn two different tools in Illustrator, the pen tool and the pencil tool, and maybe some other kind of options dealing with layers and maybe some gradients that may be on a separate tutorial. You will need to log in to the Maple Grove assign drive and find my name under drawing. Okay, it'll go through, it's going to spin a little bit and think, but once that pulls up, you're going to find a folder that says Illustrator Pen Tool on it. Inside this folder, you're going to find many different examples of images that I found online of Illustrator artwork. Okay. And the 6 pen tool exercise, which we will do today as well, using the pen tool. You can do multiple searches and find just tons of examples of Illustrator artwork. Okay, let's jump into it. Illustrator can be found down below in your applications folder under, well, it should be up here. It's the orange one. Click once and then again on the application. This will pop up, and this is kind of the starter screen. You'll notice over to the left we have toolbars. Over to the right we have options, our options palette. Along the top we have some drop-down menus describing everything we would need for Illustrator. Type, object, some even filters. We're not going to use those at all. But here's the window. This is one of the important ones. Whenever you need something in Illustrator, look to your window, because you might want to have your layers open, or you might want to have a gradient or something open, and that's going to open up your options palette over to the right. Click print document. We're going to start a new document. You have different options here for web, mobile devices, video and film. We're just going to do a print document this time, and then size letter is fine. I mean, you have some different kind of options there. Here's your options for the document. Pixel setup, they deal with points. That's fine, we can work with points. Click OK, and then here's our print document setup. Okay, we're going to keep this very simple. I want you to play around a little bit and just explore what we can do with the pen tool and the pencil tool. Very similar to Photoshop if you've seen Photoshop before, but just some different options, some different tools to use. First of all, let's check out the pencil tool. If we just kind of hover the mouse over the buttons, we will see that a yellow box pops up with its name. You'll notice under pencil tool, you'll see an N. That is the quick command on the keyboard. So with your left hand, or your non-dominant clicking hand, you can click the N, and that'll automatically go to the pencil tool. If you click the P, it'll automatically go to the pen tool. And we'll use these quick commands tool options as we go along. Click on the pencil tool. It works pretty much like a pencil. You just draw with it, and it makes a line. Okay. You'll notice on this line we have some blue dots occurring. Those are called anchor points. Okay. In between anchor points we have a path. And what we've just created is a path. Okay. A couple other tools on the toolbar is the selection tool and the direct selection tool. The selection tool is going to select your path as a whole. Okay. The direct selection tool is you can click on individual anchor points and manipulate the anchor points by clicking on them and dragging them either way. Notice this blue line coming off an anchor point. That is called a handle. The handle will manipulate the curve and the kind of direction of your curve. If you hold down the Alt key or Option key, you can click on a handle and manipulate just one side of the handle if you want more of a kind of a sharp edge to your curve. This might be beneficial when creating your character or your cartoon to alter as you trace. Okay? Let's check out the strokes. If we click on our path, we can go to our options over to the side. We can also go to the window palette and find stroke. Notice the stroke will open up over here and under our palettes. Okay, we can play around with the weight of the stroke, give it thickness. We can make the end of the stroke rounded. This is good when adding details in for your cartoon. We can make the joints rounded. Now joints occur when you have a finished shape or when you have two end anchor points connecting. Okay, you can change the miter limit. Let's move this one aside. We can move it with our selection tool. And let's check out the pen tool. The pen tool works similarly, although you're just dropping anchor points. Click once to drop one anchor point. We can click again to drop another one. And as we continue to drop anchor points, it'll create the path as we move along. This is only going to create straight lines, okay, which isn't very effective for making smooth cartoon-like shapes and characters. Now we can drop another anchor point on a separate area, but we can make a curve by clicking again and holding the mouse key, the mouse button, and dragging it. This is a nice way to create rounded shapes. Think of that Angry Bird rounded body. Okay, how did they create that? Probably by using the pen tool or some other shape tools. The ellipse tool possibly. Okay. The direct selection tool is great because you can alter any kind of shape you want if it has anchor points along the path. Okay. So you see how you can alter the shape. Play around and make your own shape and see if you can alter the anchor points. Move around the handles to create a curve. Next, notice over here we have some color pickers, some color options. We have the fill. We can click the fill by clicking the X button on the keyboard or the stroke. Okay. You can alternate between these two by clicking on the arrow back and forth. You can have the default black and white by clicking on the default black and white settings. The front square is the fill color. If you click on this, this is the stroke color. Okay. Turn our stroke back to 7. Let's go to our fill color. If we double click on the fill color, the color picker window will pop up and you can choose any color under the sun. And it'll fill the inside. Similarly, it will do it to this shape. Let's jump back to the pen tool real quick. Notice next to the pen tool we have an X. An X is kind of a symbol to tell you that it is going to drop an anchor point. Kind of X marks the spot, so to speak. Notice if I go back to my anchor point I just created and I hover over it, a minus sign will appear. That is the symbol to erase that anchor point. If I drop the X marks the spot, if I continue to drop another one, I'll make a path. The arrow next to the pen tool now is a symbol for the direct selection. It's going to tell us that we can now activate that anchor point. Alright? Now notice if I hover over the path, a plus sign will pop up, and that is add anchor point. Okay? I can add any kind of anchor point along the path that I want. Maybe I want more curves. A key command to select the shape real fast without having to go back to the toolbar is to hold down the command key on the keyboard, or the Apple key, and that way we can move it around. Okay. The Alt Option key also brings up this arrow. We can manipulate anchor points by clicking and holding the Option key. It's kind of the quick command for direct selection. Located in the assignment drive under my name, Drawing B folder, and then the Illustrator Pen Tool folder, you can pull up a Word document labeled Illustrator Reference Document. And it looks like this. And it's got some handy tips in here. You can scroll down. It tells you how they use the pen tool, create paths and anchors, kind of like what I've just discussed. But it also has key commands in short, just little hints about what is what. I've just described this. One thing I did not describe, and I'll go back to that, is the circle symbol. And that is to close the path, and I'll show you that in a second. But you may want to peruse this document to learn quick commands. It's got pictures describing how we do some things. It describes anchors and handles. Do some studying up on this document. Okay, let's go back to Illustrator real fast. One thing I did not show you is the closed path. Okay, so if I click and I make a curve, make another curve, notice the circle now next to my pen tool. That is going to symbolize I'm going to enclose this path. I can drag it to make a shape, and now it's a shape. It's an enclosed path. Okay, now I can move it over. I can do some things to this now to make it look, like something. Okay. Finally, to finish up today, I would like you to go to the assignment drive and pull up this document, 6 Pen Tool Exercise. In Illustrator, it's an Illustrator document. One more quick command, as I'm running out of time, is the zoom in and out. With your left hand, if you hold down the space bar, you'll get this hand which you can move around your working space. Okay? You have to use your left hand and your right hand simultaneously. The right hand on the mouse, left hand on the keyboard. And once again, that's the space bar to get your hand, click the mouse and move it around. Hold down the space bar and the Apple key or the command key and then click with the mouse and zoom in. Space bar, Apple, Option will zoom out. Okay, so get in the habit of using your left hand to control what you need to see. Open up this document, and the instructions for this document will be on the next tutorial.